is the question. Peter Mcguire joins us this morning, CEO XM Australia. Peter, thank you so much for speaking with us and great to have you on as always. Let's start by getting your view on the CLSA note. Let me begin there. Will there be more to come, or is CLSA really on its own path and has reversed its own stance?
Well, good morning, Tomato. I think it's on its own path in a lot of ways. There's a lot of moving parts when we look at, the fabric as far as India, and you're looking at fund flows and all of those components that go into it. But the overall theme, I think, is that India's best days are certainly ahead of it. And I feel as though that there'll be, the good times will come back. Don't you worry about that. And I think the reason for it is you've got strong economic growth across nearly every sector. The country is really quite unique in its placing, and the overall situation. We've got a new president in the United States, and I feel as though that his relationship with Prime Minister Modi will be very, very strong. And let's see where 25 goes. You've got a raging strong stock market that you've seen over the last couple of years. So yeah, I'm not too worried about India at all.
Peter, good morning to you, or is it good afternoon already? Thanks for joining in. What about the world at large? There seems to be this negation of the rate cut trajectory. If anything, Jerome Powell reinforcing that there might not be more rate cuts, so to be watched out for. And demand concerns as well, showing in the way crude prices have behaved, and OPEC's decision maybe to be also considered here. So what's your view on the world markets at large?
Well, good afternoon. It is good afternoon here, Niraj. Good to see you. I think a couple of things. First off, as far as crude, it was probably a lot of that war premium has been stripped out, and from weather outages and so on. So that's all that evaporation as far as price. And you're now every chance you could see this week, I think, probably Brent to get very close to that 70 and maybe even in the high 60s. So it just seems to be one-way traffic at the moment, really solid sell-off. And the short traders are loving it. The second part is you've got a very, very strong, nearly out of control US dollar index. It's now sitting at nearly at 107, and that's been just incredible what you've seen as far as currency plays, and the likes of gold really sold off hard. And then that bond market has been very strong. 70 basis points up on the 10-year over the last 2 months since that cut. So as you mentioned, Jay Powell, I can't see any cuts. 37% roughly chance of a Fed sitting as far as pausing in December, and 57% chance of pausing in January, Niraj.
Peter, in terms of the Trump trade and flows coming into America, do you think that is just beginning? And I'm coming back to the CLSA note. The CLSA note is talking about India vis-a-vis China. So they're going back to their allocations on India and receding on their allocations on China as well. They're retracting it. But what about the allocations that are now expected to flow to the US, and perhaps at the cost of emerging markets like India?
Well, exactly, Tomato. I mean, President Trump's got one agenda, and that's to bring manufacturing back home. Drill, baby, drills. His second point, he's putting very concerted effort with the likes of his administration. Who's going to oversee this? His energy czar that's coming in. He's certainly got one-way traffic in the sense of what he's expecting out of the state. 64% of its crude production's coming from shale, and he wants to boost that up, I would say, probably even to 85, 90%. You're currently producing 22 odd million barrels a day, so they want to make it just a true powerhouse and bring all that manufacturing that was offshore to China, bring a lot of that back. So I think that 25 is going to be a very interesting year if the states can pull that off. I know it's going to be to the detriment to many other countries. I'm not sure how it plays out, but one thing for sure, it's very unconventional, and that's President Trump's whole agenda, isn't it? Unconventional.
All right. Thank you so much, Peter Mcguire there. And how the Trump move actually plays out will remain to be seen. Having said that, look at where the flows really are. The FII outflows continue. That's going to be a pain point. Results have not been the best, I would say, Neeraj, and whatever's come over the weekend, apart from one or two, I would say Hero, etc., are exceptions. Most of them are looking bad, some of them alarming.